YouTube, what's up? What is going on? This is X-Man 1991 coming to you back again with another video. Y'all thought I was done talking about these two niggas that are in the title of this video. You thought I was done talking about them, but no. If you think my 3 videos about them from last year wasn't enough, you ain't seen nothing yet. This video is going to be titled, R. Kelly and Mystikal should never be in a top 50, 100, or 200 list. And I'm going to tell you why I believe these two should not be in the top 50, top 100, or top 200 best hip-hop artists, best R&B artists, or why neither one of their songs or albums should be in the top 50, 100, 150, or 200 best hip-hop and R&B songs of all time. I'm going to tell you why, because these two right here, they're nothing but sick bastards. Who should I start with first? I really don't know. I think I'm going to start with Robert Kelly. Robert Kelly, what the hell happened to you, bro? I mean, you were on the top of the world in the 90s and the 2000s. I mean, you came out with a lot of hit songs. You wrote for artists like Michael Jackson, Celine Dion, B2K. You wrote for Whitney Houston. You wrote Uncle Charlie's and produced his album, Charlie Last Name Wilson, which in my opinion, Charlie Last Name Wilson is Uncle Charlie's best album. You also wrote for Maxwell and Casey and JoJo. You produced a lot of good beats too. I mean, you had amazing talent with your music career, and you had to take that shit away by fucking around with other people's children, bro. Really, Robert Kelly, are you serious? Just because, and yes, just because you are the king of R&B, an R&B legend and all that, doesn't mean you should have the right to be fucking around with other people's children. I mean, how would you like it if somebody did that shit to your daughters? If they were still underage. I know they're both 25 and 23 now, but how would you like if somebody did that shit to your 2 daughters? You would feel the same way the parents would. You would feel the same way that the parents would when you was fucking around with their daughters. And I know a lot of you are gonna get mad and disagree with me when I say this, but Robert Kelly is not in my top 5 R&B singers of all time list. He's not in my top 10. He's not in my top 15. He's not even in my top 20. You're not a top 5 R&B singer. You're not a top 10 R&B singer. You're not a top 15. Hell, you're not even the top 20 because you're a fucking pedophile, bro. If you are a top 20 R&B singer, then you're probably in the late teens. But if you're in everybody's top 10 or top 5, then that's fine. But he's nowhere near my list when it comes to the best R&B singers of all time. Matter of fact, did you know that Rolling Stone made a list of the top 200 greatest singers of all time list? I'm glad they did not put Robert Kelly on there, because I bet Rolling Stone, Billboard, Consequence of Sound, and some of these other companies don't support pedophiles. But that list, the top 200 greatest singers of all time list from Rolling Stone, was a damn joke. They got the king of pop, Michael Jackson, in '86 when he should be in the top 3. Aaliyah should have been in the top 10, and they got her at number 40. And there's no way in hell they was going to put Rihanna and Beyonce over Michael Jackson. I'm not sure what number Rihanna is, but they put Beyonce in the top 10. Really? Michael Jackson should have been higher on that list. And I'm glad they did not put Robert Kelly on that list. He did not deserve to be on no list when it comes to the greatest singers of all time. I understand he is a great singer and all that, but he should not be on a list like that, because he's fucking sick. Even though his music is good, he's a sick ass pervert. And where the hell was my boy Joe at? Why they did not put my boy Joe in that top 200 greatest singers of all time list by Rolling Stone? Where was Brian McKnight at? Where was Tyrese at? Where was Tank at? Where's Genuine, Maxwell, Casey and JoJo? Where was those singers at? Why Rolling Stone did not put them on that list? Pitchfork came up with the top 53 R&B songs from the 1990s. And no surprise, no Robert Kelly songs were on that list. I'm like, good. And I know people going to say that they cannot have a top 50, 100, or 200 greatest R&B songs of the 90s without no Robert Kelly songs. So what? None of his songs, all his songs are good, but neither one of them should be on that list. Because he's fucking sick. And on to Mystikal. What the hell happened to you? You are on top of the rap game during, before, and after your No Limit days. You had to throw that away by doing the R word to these women. I wish I could say the RAPE word on YouTube. If I was making this video on Rumble, I would say that word. But I can't say it on YouTube because YouTube might take this video down if I say that word. That's why I try to keep my words clean whenever I be making videos. You know, when I was doing my house chores earlier today, after I got off work, I read Beats Rhymes list of the top 50 best Southern rappers. I'm not surprised they put Mystikal on that list. They put him at number 34. I'm like, wow, I can't believe they put Mystikal on the list. I'm glad they haven't. I'm like, wow, they must haven't forgotten about Mystikal. Despite of a sick ass pervert that he is, a sick RAPIST, no surprise they put him on that list. But they got him over Soulja Slim, number 35. Soulja Slim should have been a little bit higher. I may reveal that list soon. I'm only going to reveal you the top 5 of that top 50 best Southern rappers. Of course, Big Boy from Outkast was number 5. Bun B was number 4. Lil Wayne, he should be nowhere near the top 3. I'm glad Scarface is number 2, but he should have been number 1 in my opinion. But Andre 3 Stacks was number 1. And I read a list of the top 25 best New Orleans rappers, and no surprise they put Mystikal on that list, number 13. Beats Rhymes list made a top 10 best New Orleans rappers, and they put Mystikal in number 7. But Mystikal should not be on these lists at all because he's a sick-ass RAPIST. And look where he's at now, in fucking jail. Robert Kelly is in jail too. One is serving 30 years in jail, and the other, he's still going through his trial. If he gets convicted, he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail. They're right up there with Tory Lanez and Danny Masterson. What the hell happened to you, Danny Masterson? I mean, you were such a great actor portraying as Stephen Hyde on That 70s Show. And now you're going to be serving the next 30 years in jail. You're 47 now. You'll be 77 by the time you get out in the next 30 years, if you make it to C77. Tory Lanez is serving 10 years. He's 31 now. He'll be 41 by the time he gets out, if he makes it to C41. So in my opinion, Robert Kelly and Mystikal should not be in the top 50, top 100, or top 200 lists ever. Because they're both fucking sick. I don't care how good they can rap or sing. They both fucking sick. They should have gotten help. Robert Kelly should have gotten help after he got away with that shit the first time when he beat that trial in 2008. He should have left those little girls alone and continued making music. But no, he wanted to keep on doing his bullshit. And look where the fuck he's at now. I do not feel sorry for this nigga as a former fan. Yeah, I know you guys are going to unsubscribe to my channel and hate me when I say this, but yes, I was a Robert Kelly fan. I told y'all that before. Yes, I was a fan of him. Yes, I enjoyed his music. Despite that he's a sick bastard, yes, I enjoyed his music, and yes, I was a fan. But it doesn't change the fact that he's fucking sick. Same with Mystikal. I'm not a huge Mystikal fan, but he's without a doubt one of the most underrated rappers of all time. He definitely put out a lot of bangers like Shake It Fast, Danger, The Man Right Here. He put out a lot of good songs. And he was featured in other songs like Move Bitch by Luda and I Don't Give a F by Lil Jon and the East Side Boys. And the remix of Stutter by Joe. But it doesn't change the fact that he's a fucking rapist. To me, they should not be on the list when it comes to a top 50, top 100, or top 200. I also looked at Pitchfork's top 150 best albums of the 1990s, and neither albums from Robert Kelly or Mystikal were on that list. I'm like, good. Neither one of those albums should be on that list. Despite that, they did come out with good albums back in the 90s. Neither one of them should be on that list because they're both fucking sick. What other list they came out with? Yeah, I think that's about it. Bottom line is, I do not think they should put any Robert Kelly or Mystikal material in the top 50, 100, or 200. And speaking of albums of the 90s, y'all know tomorrow is the 30th anniversary of Robert Kelly's 12 Play album. I'm not celebrating that shit. I'm not listening to that album, and I'm damn sure not doing a review on it. Instead, I'm going to be celebrating the 30th anniversary of Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers and Midnight Marauders by a Tribe Called Quest. No surprise, those two albums came out the same day as 12 Play. I did a rant about that 12 Play album 5 years ago on its 25th anniversary, along with the 25th anniversary of Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers and Midnight Marauders. But I deleted that video when that Surviving R. Kelly docu-series came out. I didn't have to watch that shit because I know the history about Robert Kelly messing around with underage girls. Why would I want to watch something about something? Why would I want to watch something about somebody doing something that I already know that he's been doing for the past decade or so? So I ain't celebrating the 30th anniversary of 12 Play. And looking back on it 30 years later, it's one of the most overrated R&B albums of 1993. It's very perverted and controversial looking back on it 30 years later. Every track on that 12 Play album was about sex, but it was grown folks' music. But I'm not celebrating the 30th anniversary of 12 Play. I'm sorry. Instead, I'll be celebrating the 30th anniversary of Midnight Marauders and Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. Same with his third album, R, which will be 25 this Friday. I know I have that album and it's my favorite Robert Kelly album, but I'm not celebrating that shit either. I did 5 years ago on its 20th anniversary, but I'm not doing it again on its 25th anniversary. And I'm not celebrating the 25th anniversary of Mystikal's Ghetto Fabulous album next month on the 15th. Instead, I'll be celebrating 25 years of Busta Rhymes' Extent Level Event album. Last year, I was going to celebrate the 25th anniversary of Mystikal's Unpredictable album on Veterans Day, but after what he did last summer, doing the R word to another woman, I reconsidered that shit and celebrated the 25th anniversary of Timbaland and Magoo's debut album, Welcome to Our World. Rest in peace to Magoo. So in closing, Rolling Stone, Billboard, Consequence of Sound, Pitchfork, whatever, you should not put any Robert Kelly or Mystikal material in your top 50, top 100, or top 200 greatest R&B or hip-hop albums of the 90s or greatest hip-hop or R&B songs of all time. You should not do that shit because one is a sick-ass R word and the other is a sick-ass pedophile. And that's exactly where they got them, in jail. I don't give a fuck who disagrees with me. I don't give a fuck if you get mad at me just because I said Robert Kelly and Mystikal should not be in a top 50, 100, 150, or 200 list. I don't give a fuck. Because you're not a regular nigga if you like supporting this pedophilia and this RAPE bullshit. You are not. And on that note, fuck Robert Kelly and fuck Mystikal. I mean, they're both legends of hip-hop and R&B, but fuck both of them as human beings. Mystikal should have stayed the fuck away from women when that second RAPE charge against him was dropped in 2020. But no, he wanted to keep on doing this shit to these women. Robert Kelly should have stopped fucking with these underage girls when he got away with it the first time, but no, he wanted to keep on doing that. And that's why they don't deserve to be on no top 50, top 100, or top 200 lists. Even though Mystikal is on 3 of them, they should have never put him on those lists at all. I know he's a legend of Southern hip hop, but no. And so that wraps up my rant on Robert Kelly and Mystikal should not be in the top 50, 100, or 200 lists. Shout out to Mike Henry, Juggalo Jigsaw Gamer, Yusuke Knight, Beanie Gee 94. A link to their YouTube pages will be in the description down below. If you're new here, hit subscribe and hit that notification bell for my next rant. This is actually my first rant on Robert Kelly and Mystikal together of 2023. Maybe next time I make a video about them, it's going to be on the positive side. I may do a top 5 of my best Mystikal songs and top 5 of my best Robert Kelly songs. Depends if I'm in the mood to do it. But if I'm not in the mood to do that, then fuck it. Also, give this video a thumbs up and leave your comment down below. What time is it? I think I have time to do a recap of the Warriors versus the Pistons, the Kings versus the Rockets, and the Lakers versus the Heat. I'm going to do that a little bit later before I go to bed. Until then, play stupid games, win stupid prizes. No more talk.